Pigs, hello, how are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks, Chris. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So you scored 54 goals in 157 games in your last spell for Wimbledon. We've done our best to go through the archive and find 10 of the best and also most memorable.
Yeah.
So what we're going to start you off with is your first game for us, and it was against Blackpool. So we'll just let you watch this, and then we'll ask you about what you remember. Now, how much do you remember about that day? And obviously, maybe start us from the beginning. How did you come about to sign for Wimbledon in the first place?
It was just all down to Simon Bassey, really. He's sort of, he's got crazy knowledge of players and been watching me for a few years. Obviously, I was at Maidstone, been to watch me there, and I think he watched me over quite a long period closely. And then obviously came in for me in that January, paid the big sum of 25 grand, which was luckily my release clause in my deal, which not many people actually knew about. It just all came from that really. And it's thanks to him that the move obviously got done. He obviously persuaded Ards to bring me in, and first game, first touch, first goal. Yeah, it was a bit of a crazy experience. I think they were 1-0 up at the time. I think
that's right.
Trots might have scored. And obviously looking back now, just how different things were back then compared to obviously coming back now. And the more I think about it, the strides the club's made are absolutely huge. So,
Were you always aware that Bassey was watching you a few times before?
No, not really. No, I scored quite a few goals up until January, obviously, and had a fair bit of interest. But it's one of them in football, you never really know until it's actually done. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll move on to number 2. Tell us about that last-minute winner against Bristol Rovers. How does it feel to score a last-minute goal?
Obviously it's brilliant, especially in the situations that we were in, because obviously we always had something to play for in regards to obviously staying up, and those goals were massive, and sort of not gave us an opportunity to kick on, but he sort of carried it on to the next game, and it really does build confidence and momentum for everyone. Those last minute goals are always massive. And actually, more I think about it, there are quite a few last minute goals that could be in here. So we'll see which ones you've chosen. But amazing feeling doing that in front of the home fans. And
I remember seeing you score for Southend at Wembley. Well, maybe last minute of extra time against Wickham.
Yeah, that was right at the end.
Yeah, that must have been crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience. Might have a habit for doing it, but ideally, you wanted to, sort of be in a comfortable position when the 90 minutes strike. But it's obviously a great feeling.
I went forward in time with that one, and this one is a little bit further in time as well. This is against Rochdale to complete your first hat-trick for the club.
Yeah.
What was the feelings on that one?
It's just a mad Tuesday night up north, basically. It's 4-3, wasn't it?
It was 4-3,
we scored some really good goals. Woody's goal that he scored in that game was a really good goal.
I think you might have assisted that.
Yeah, I did, but it was like a really well-worked goal. It's just a mad game. And obviously they were right down there with us, so... not for the first time, Rochdale were down there with us, so it was huge 3 points.
What was it like playing under Wally that season? Because he came in, he's quite a character as well. And
yeah, of course. I mean, the situation with him was pretty perilous, wasn't it? 10 points drift or whatever we were. The sort of camaraderie and the changing room sort of got us out of the situation we were in. and yeah, it was totally miraculous, really.
I think it was unfortunate he wasn't fit that much during that season, but you and James Hansen like really came to the fore towards the end of that season.
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, it was quite strange, really, because obviously people say, "Oh, you have to play a big man and a little man." But yeah, no, we worked really well with each other, and it's just a shame he wasn't, fit for most of the season. And I'm sure if he was, we wouldn't have been in that position. But yeah, there was good games like Scunthorpe away.
Yeah,
one in my head where he got a couple of goals, and yeah, no, he was a real problem for defenders.
Did you take much pride in setting other people up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I just like being involved in the goal, whether that's scoring or assisting, at any point, really. Yeah.
Fair play. On to the next. It's Luton away. Another great header. What do you remember about that night? Obviously, that goal was brilliant, but the scenes at the last goal was Seddon scoring as well.
It was mad. I just remember watching back, not the goals, but like how we all celebrated afterwards. And yeah, obviously they were flying, like absolutely flying. And players from their team have gone on to have really, really good Premier League careers. So it was a massive, massive result. And obviously we weren't expected to go there and do anything really. Rammers did have an absolutely amazing game. God, some of the saves he made in that game were absolutely ridiculous, and obviously kept us in it. We had him to thank really, and then Sed's obviously getting that goal at the end. I think it was off.
It was your shot?
Yeah, my shot.
Yeah.
Rebounded to him. And obviously amazing scenes. But yeah, obviously that was absolutely incredible ball by Woody. His quality was just ridiculous, to be honest. But yeah, that result was down to Rammers, in all honesty.
Did you realise at that time how good he could be?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, as a keeper. But obviously, his keepers these days are asked to do a lot more than that. He's always been, a top quality keeper. But yeah, the rest of his games come on leaps and bounds, as we saw when he was playing week in, week out for Arsenal. So I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure his hips and his quads are thanking him that he's not playing for us anymore in League One, where he's trying to kick it as far as he can to either me or wherever else was up there. So.
And in that season, be honest, like when did you feel like you were going to stay up, like realistically?
That was the thing. We never really, because we were so far away at one stage. We never really
just take it a game at a time, really.
Yeah, never really took our foot off the gas, to be honest. And we had good experience in the changing room, which stood us in really good stead. From my point of view, I never really thought, this is it, until obviously it got very twitchy towards the end at Bradford. We never really put our feet up at all.
And did you have much of a party on the way back from Bradford?
We did. Yeah, coach was ridiculous. Yeah, all the boys were singing. It was class.
Brilliant. I picked this one out. I don't think it gets talked about that much, but I think it's a brilliant finish, in my opinion. Tell us about that finish. Is that what you intended for it to go?
Of course,
far sides?
Yeah. The pass is, again, the quality of the pass is brilliant, and that sort of allows me to do whatever I want with it, really. And obviously Hartley, great pass for the ball, and just had it in my head straight away.
With your celebrations, did you ever have anything in mind? You just seem to just charge off, just go mental.
Not really, yeah. I won't be charging off anymore though. But you can't really talk about what you're going to do afterwards, because you just don't. Yeah, you don't know. Obviously, the feelings, so overriding and sort of fulfilling that you just you could do anything and not even think about it.
When you score the amount of goals you scored, do you remember all of them? Or?
There's quite a few that I don't forget. I've had like a compilation put together for me a few times. But obviously it's hard to fit them all in. So yeah, I mean, I tend to think about the games more than the goals, to be honest. Because they're kind of easier to look back on rather than the sort of small moments where I can't. It's hard because obviously when you're scoring goals, and it sounds a bit cliche, but you're not really. The thought isn't there. You just you're just doing it, and it's instinctive. So it's quite hard to remember. Yeah.
How do you feel like you've changed since that time? Because I'm trying to think of how old you would have been then.
Yeah. What would I have been? Maybe like 25 or 26.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that could have been.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
that's I think that's the same season we stayed up at Bradford.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was okay there, but I'm definitely better now. That's for sure. As a player.
In what sense?
Just everything, really. Yeah, just sort of like. Better technically, but obviously just experience and know-how and stuff. I mean, let's not forget it's the hardest position out there, basically. I mean, debatable between that and a goalkeeper, but scoring goals is the hardest thing in football. So, and leading the line as well. So it's just experience, really.
As you scored more goals and your reputation was obviously enhanced, did you find defenders would do different things to try and stop you or put you off or whatnot?
Yeah, 100%. You can tell when someone's marking you, extra tight. And I had it through training all week with Will marking me and stamping on me most of the time, so I got used to it a fair bit. But 100%. You could tell the difference. But then obviously you have to think unselfishly that other people are going to get opportunities because of that as well.
Nice one. So next up we've got a free kick. So that's a strange one really at Loftus Road.
It was quite strange.
Quite a crazy game as well, 4-4.
Yeah, 4-4, yeah.
But tell us about your free kicks, because obviously we had the friendly recently and you hit the top of the bar. Is it something you practice quite a lot?
I do practice a fair bit, but I've never really had like a great opportunity to take them before this season. Before this season when I scored this one, to be honest. Just felt quite natural. I could have had a few more that season as well. I think I hit the bar like 2 or 3 times. One actually, I couldn't think off the top of my head, was like Peterborough at home. But something that I obviously love doing, and it's a free shot at goal. And obviously if you get the right trajectory and stuff, 8 times out of 10 it goes in if you can get it up and down over the wall.
It's quite a crazy season really, because obviously you had that COVID for a start, no fans, playing at Loftus Road, then going to Plough Lane, which we'll come on to later. But what did Robbo do to get the best out of you in the second half of the season? Because he had you, Ollie, Ayub and Rudy. It's kind of like a front four almost. Yeah, it was. That seems to work quite well.
He got the best out of all of us, really. Obviously great guy who's really good to work with. We had, everyone was enjoying themselves so much on and off the pitch. We were playing really attacking, sort of flowing football, and we weren't conceding too many goals either. Just off the top of my head, like we'd, go away to places like Accrington and win like 5-1 and things like that. Not many teams do that at all. No, because obviously it's such a tough place to go. I know it's only COVID and there's no fans, but we were scoring so freely. And it was so enjoyable. I mean, obviously we stayed up and we were very, very comfortable in doing so in the end. But if we would have kept that team together for another year or so, then who knows what would have happened really.
Definitely. Another one from that season coming up. Don't need to name who this was against. What I like about this one is you've done a lot of work to score it, really.
It's a great pass again from Dan. Had a little bit of everything, I guess.
And brilliant celebration as well.
A bit of balance and stuff. Obviously that was great to score in, and hopefully they'll get some more opportunities this season when we come up against them. Yeah,
definitely. I'm sure. Well, you wouldn't have seen it live, but I'm sure you would have seen Ronan's
for sure. Yeah,
Ronan's goal last season against them.
Yeah, of course.
How did it feel for you to see that? Because obviously you were with Ronan at Pompey for a little bit.
Yeah, I got on really well with Ronan. Yeah, so obviously it was amazing to see him score that goal. We used to do like finishing together every day, so I know how good his finishing is, and it's bread and butter stuff for him. So it's a really good goal.
Yeah, I bet you're looking forward to being in that atmosphere as well.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a good goal, but there's no atmosphere there at all. So there isn't really
nothing unusual.
Fans, so, but yeah, no, the home game will be, I'm sure, amazing. Yeah,
perfect. And then Doncaster at home coming up. Again, a really nice move.
It sounds like there's quite a few fans there.
Yeah. Just tell us about how it felt to score the first goal there. Obviously, as we touched on, there are no fans, but still massive moment.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It's just the feeling that obviously felt around the place. I mean, knowing the history and what it meant to everyone, although obviously, only a small amount of people came, but it just felt amazing, and just everything was new and just felt quite refreshing in a way, I suppose. Not that Kingsmeadow was bad. I mean, it was amazing for the club and for us. To actually have our proper home was felt something totally different and pretty wholesome, to be honest.
I suppose that's a game that you guys were just determined to at least get something out of. No matter what.
Yeah, I mean, we were at QPR for the start of the season, and that was quite strange. I'm not sure if we actually got many results there, to be honest. We were just looking forward to this. Well,
you had to get changed. You had to get changed in like a bar, I think.
Because obviously couldn't have enclosed spaces, so it's quite strange.
Yeah, and your shirt from that game's actually in the museum at the stadium.
Yeah.
Is that a nice feeling to know that you're sort of part of history?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously it would have been better if fans were in the ground. The more memorable, but it's still a great feeling.
And then Rochdale at home. How did that feel as well? I think that pretty much secured us staying up, actually.
Yeah, it did, yeah. I think I'd missed the pen just before it as well.
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes before. What was the score? 3-2 or something like that?
3-3, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they needed, they were battling to stay up as well, and I think you scoring that relegated them and kept us up.
Yeah. I mean, the way we said about it after was amazing, but it was just relief, really. I mean, it's hard celebrating, staying up, because obviously you want to be celebrating about, winning trophies and promoting stuff. But just securing, obviously, the following season was massive. Yeah.
And then last but not least, I'd say this is maybe up there with your best. Charlton away. Forget about the scoreline of that game. What was it like to score at a club that obviously gave you your first chance in football?
It was obviously great. I really enjoyed that goal in front of a few fans. But it was quite strange, really. Obviously, I spent from 15 to 22, I think, maybe there. It was obviously great to be back, and really, really bad result, but we got off to a pretty good start in this game, and obviously you've got loads of respect for people that are still there.
Were you always a striker?
Basically, played like number 10 a few times, but mainly striker.
And then obviously facing them this weekend, is there anyone still there that you know previously?
Obviously the manager I've worked with before when I was at Charlton. A few people behind the scenes, but that's about it, really.
Decent. And then when you eventually come to the end of your career, you've obviously got a lot of years ahead of you still.
Yeah.
How will you sort of look back on the goals that you scored and what you've achieved? Obviously, hopefully there's still more to achieve with us.
Yeah, of course.
How will you look back on it as a whole? Will you be pleased with what you've achieved, do you think?
Yeah, some parts of it, yeah. But obviously not totally satisfied, which obviously got to use to obviously drive myself on to achieve, more and more.
And then just lastly, how have you found settling into the group as a whole?
No, it's been really good so far. Yeah, seems like a nice group. We're a bit quiet, but I'm sure it will come out as the season progresses.
Definitely. Well, Pigs, wish you all the best for tomorrow's game and for the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, mate.